when the levees failed in this area, the surge was at 14 feet above sea level. The average ground elevation is about -4. So you had this 18-foot wave rush through the area, and it totally destroyed the first 4 or 5 blocks of houses, just wiped them out. In situations like the house behind us, the water level would have been at very close to the top of the roof. This is an area where we had very significant loss of life because it was very difficult to get out of the waters if the water was higher than the roof of your house. Some of the houses you will see will have holes in the roofs, and that's where people escaped through their attics, or they were rescued by the Coast Guard or firemen who landed on the roof and chopped a hole in it. The unfortunate situation is, given that 18-foot high wave of water coming through here, most of these buildings are single story, and so the folk who lived in them had very little opportunity to get out. Some of the worst cases that we saw was one house fairly close to the breach where 3 people who were wheelchair bound obviously couldn't make it out, and in the house were the 3 wheelchairs with the 3 bodies. It was a very emotional time because as you walked around after the water was pumped out, you would see the mementos of people's lives, photograph albums, so on, and you didn't know what to do. You know, you'd pick up the photograph and you didn't know who the person was, where it came from, what do you do with it? I remember some firemen found some of the trophies that kids would get, say, from baseball or soccer matches and so on, and he very carefully cleaned it and put it on an overturned car. You know, where are those people? I'm sorry. You know, it was like a bomb had gone off. It was unbelievable that this is a major American city, protected by the US Army Corps of Engineers, supposed to be state-of-the-art engineering, and it failed so dismally. And you have this total destruction, and we yet have had any real admission of guilt from the federal government, and we haven't seen any real compensation for these folks. I think the science is very clear that we're going to see perhaps not an increase in the number of storms, but we're going to see an increase in the number of the major storms, the category 3, 4s, and 5s. And so that, with rising sea level, less wetlands, less coastal protection, means that we're going to see a lot more of these catastrophes, not only in the US, but elsewhere.